Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Mountain King for the Atari 2600. In this 1983 platformer from CBS Electronics, you're an explorer in a diamond mine, vying to become, well, the Mountain King. So to become the Mountain King, you've got to get the crown up a series of platforms to the perpetual flame at the peak of the playfield, mountain. And this is a twofold process that you've got to do in order. Socks before shoes, people. Don't be a maniac and try things the other way around. Step 1 is to obtain the Flame Spirit, which grants access to the Crown Temple. The flame appears randomly on a mountain platform once you've collected 1,000 points worth of diamonds, both from 25-point clusters lining the walls and 250-point treasure chests that are only visible by shining your flashlight. The Flame Spirit is only fully visible with your flashlight too, otherwise it's just an intermittent spark. And don't ask me why you need a flashlight to see a flame. We're operating on video game logic here, so you just gotta go with it. Step 2 is getting the crown up the mountain. Once you have the Flame Spirit, the Skull Spirit guarding the temple will allow you to enter and grab your royal headgear. After all, they're spirit buddies and this club is exclusive, so you can't hang without a chaperone. Successfully scaling the mountain with the crown gives you a hefty point bonus, and you repeat the process at the next skill level. So what's stopping you from racking up infinite points and crowning yourself the Mountain King like 30 times? Well, first and foremost is the klepto bats flying around everywhere. They can steal your crown and send you back to square one. They can also steal the flame from you in later levels, cause apparently they want to be part of the exclusive spirit club too. I don't blame them though. I hear it's pretty lit. Get it? Lit? Cause flame spirit? Anyway, your other main obstacle is the timer. You only have so long to complete each task, and I always get flustered by the pressure of a ticking clock, ever since those traumatic timed multiplication tests in 3rd grade. If you just ask me what 3 times 4 is, I could tell you in 2 seconds. But if you ask me to tell you what 3 times 4 is in 2 seconds, my brain will freeze up and refuse to function altogether. There is one final hazard of note, and that's the giant green spider at the bottom of the mountain. He can trap you in his web and eat you, but it's not really a big deal because you can just rattle the joystick back and forth to escape, and avoiding the bottom platform guarantees that you never encounter him in the first place. Which is great, because I hate spiders, I hate being eaten, and I hate being eaten by spiders. The most novel aspect of Mountain King is its music. The song that plays when you're wearing the crown is, as the game title would suggest, In the Hall of the Mountain King. Classical music always seems to have this refined, highly educated connotation to it, which makes it even funnier that my entire knowledge base of these compositions is built on old video games and old cartoons. The game also makes great use of music to steer you toward the Flame Spirit once it appears. The closer you get to the flame, the louder the song plays, which is really helpful for navigating, especially in later levels when the time limit becomes more and more pressing. The visuals here aren't particularly noteworthy, but I like how the crown is a wearable graphic and how your sprite has sparkles to indicate when you've got the Flame Spirit. There's some neat nuance to the animations too. Mountain King only allows you to jump in diagonals, so when you try to leap without pressing a direction, your character will just shrug. I can't decide if it's charming or enraging, but I appreciate the detail anyway. There's also a fun but painfully slow animation of the character hoisting itself up from the ground after a long fall, which is the one thing I'd change in Mountain King. Falling down from a platform makes your character pause to take the impact before you can start running and jumping again. It wouldn't be so bad if there were enough ladders to avoid falling altogether, but dropping to lower platforms is typically the only way to get around. And the impact delay is only more frustrating when you know the timer is ticking away. If we're ignoring the logic that flames emit their own light, I vote we ignore the logic of falling physics too. These jumping and landing mechanics, paired with the timer, make Mountain King a pretty difficult game, all things considered. There are 8 skill levels in total, which progressively shorten the time limits and increase point bonuses. I couldn't even make it up the mountain in time by level 3 or 4, but even still, I managed to break 100,000 points after a few days of playing. You could say that it was my crowning achievement. Get it? Crowning? 'Cause crowns? Anyway, it's hard to pinpoint my favorite part of this game because it sort of shines as an overall package. The aesthetics, the balance between progression and score objectives, the satisfying learning curve for the controls, the idea of becoming king and ruling the mountain with an iron fist, commissioning your bat subjects to build a royal shrine in your honor while you're chilling with your cool spirit buddies in the diamond mines. Overall, Mountain King might just be the king of Atari platformers. And mountains. Not many games draw me in quite as intensely as this one did, and even though I achieved my high score goal, I'm itching to go back and play some more. All hail the 2600, and all hail the Mountain King.